Hey, 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 welcome back. Welcome back to the Scorpio channel. My name is Laura. If you're new to the channel, I'm going to do a general message for Scorpio. Know that energy is fluid, the rules could be reversed. Just interpret the message as it best resonates with you. Also, know on this channel and all my channels, I like to dive deep within the reading. So I do look at everything, but we take a lot more time to look at the spiritual blocks, the shadows, to see how they play it as karmic themes, to help you understand why your person's doing what they're doing, why you would be attracting that person into your life, why we attract people that trigger us, why, even in our friendships, we can attract people that really get underneath our skin. We have to say, why would the universe think that I need that? Like life isn't hard enough without having a difficult friend or relationship. Well, life is all about learning. Like here, the planet Earth, it's definitely not perfect. We're all dealing with imperfect structures, and it all starts with imperfect people because everybody has wounds, because everyone grows up into a family that has karma and then inherits ancestral karma. And it can not really be so overwhelming. It becomes very emotional when you think about it. So for people to deal with life, to be able to navigate life, meaning make money, and that's dealing with other people if you go off to a job, and dealing with family that's imperfect and friends, and then try having a relationship. So if your relationships are imbalanced, a lot of times we know that we're imbalanced, but we don't know what to do to fix it. Or we can say, oh, how am I going to fix it? I have to pay bills. So understand healing is done through integrating the spiritual lesson. So by first having awareness, it definitely shifts the energy. But then we have to ground the energy. So which means that we have to do something different. So you're the alchemist of your life. The readings create awareness, and then you're able to make the best decision for yourself. That's why we always look at your spiritual blocks. Again, we do look and see what your person did do, what they're going to do. But what's more important on this channel is to see why you attracted that person into your life, what needs to be healed when we're seeing a person that has a lot of spiritual blockages, like self-sabotaging behaviorisms, someone that has a lower vibration, and that just means they have a bad character. If we're going to really put it blunt, we're going to say they have bad character, they're selfish, they're greedy, all the lower energies. See, we all have those aspects of ourselves. We can, but we also know better. It's a choice to be evolved. Understand that, to come from that level of consciousness. And a lot of times there's tests, and the tests are going to be, are you going to settle for less than what you deserve? Because hey, well, I have a connection, or hey, like I have history. Where really spirit's saying it's all about you, restoring your energy back to its original energy of unconditional love. That's why we do shadow work. Otherwise, it's not just about the relationship, because you may love this person for a year. And then after this year, if you're not healed, you wind up attracting the same types of people and the same scenarios. So no. All right. Anything of any importance on Revelin's channel, you know where to find it. It's in the description box. My shadow healing coaching program, you just need to sign up on YouTube. There is no more VidMe. There is no more anything. Simplified it, just YouTube. And check out the Otter Spirit bracelets. If you love crystal jewelry, this is the jewelry to get. Durable, beautiful, and you can mix and match your own. And you get 15% off, and 15% of the proceeds go to saving the otters. That's a big deal to me. I do everything that's in spiritual alignment. It has to be what's best for everyone, because God knows most of the time people only do what's best for themselves, right? All right. So the word of the video is Diplomacy. That's the underlining energy. And I feel like you're the one that's determining it. You're the one that's determining it. And I feel like for whatever reason, I feel like you're in this space of I'm feeling very emotional lately, where I feel like it's the end of a certain life, maybe, where a relationship ended, certain friendships ended, or you're seeing people also through a different perception. You're seeing your friends, some of your friends for who they like, for who they truly are. And so, what we see a lot of times is the fragmented parts, the selfish parts, the certain behaviorisms. And I think this is why it's kind of making you a little bit like, I don't really know how to feel about it when that's how you like what you think, but what you feel is like you're hurt. You're hurt because it's again, you're like, wow, I didn't think that you would be so selfish. I didn't think that, I thought I meant more to you. Again, just seeing people for who they are. And so what you know is you're a giver, you're a lover, you tend to overgive in your relationships. And so you're learning to, again, be more diplomatic and not as sensitive, because we all know that Scorpios can let their emotions take over. So when we love, and we love deep, and most people can't handle it. And so they, and so when you're seeing that, in order to not be angry, and that's what I felt like. I feel like you're seeing people and it's triggering, and you're in this emotional state where you're almost like nothing's starting for me. It's like I feel like I've been putting a lot of energy out, and nothing is like happening. Or if it's happening too slow. Like you're judging the process, you're judging yourself, almost like I'm just in this really uncomfortable spot. This is what I feel like. And so for you, there you would want to be emotional, but you're not. It's like you're again logically gonna let your mind like not get carried away and deal with everyone through being diplomatic. Now I don't know why again I picked up more about a friend, but I feel like it's been a karmic theme where you're like, wow, it's like I saw one friend that was like that. Now I'm seeing another friend, and it's just triggering. And what you're realizing is that everybody has wounds. And what you get to know when people become close is you see all different perceptions of that person, that no one's perfect. And people are also seeing that within you. Now, within your relationship, let's see where your person is at. And then we'll look and see all the other crap. But let's just try and go into a positive, more positive energy and see again what your person feels, separated or together. This person feels your energy. So when you get along with this person, and really soul relationships are going to do that. ESP is through the heart and mind. So this person can feel what you're feeling, and you may feel that with that you can feel what this person feels, and you can feel when their energy is around you, and you can feel when their energy isn't. And what you know is that when you get mad and you begin to ruminate, that this person is probably then getting triggered and getting mad and also ruminating. So that's what it means by like working in tandem. Now, it doesn't mean that they're deserving to act the way that they're acting. They should have no reason to be angry. But some people like to get mad when you're mad. It's just like the way that they deal with it. I feel your energy around me, and I wonder, are you thinking of me too? So that's why they said this person can feel your energy around them, but they're like, do you really care about me? Are you really thinking about me, or is it my imagination? So they don't really trust themselves, and they don't really trust the relationship, because what this says is I feel your energy around me, and I wonder, are you thinking about me too? Well, how is a person's energy around you? They have to be thinking of you. They have to, it's through ESP, is through the heart and mind. So this person can feel the connection, but again, they're not confident really around love. They don't know what it is. I'm conflicted about whether I have what it takes to be your partner. Listen, I'm not lying here. It's like, this is what this person feels. So they're like, you're thinking about me, but maybe you don't want to be with me. Like, they're judging themselves. And you might be like, I'm not doing anything. It's like, I haven't said anything. I haven't talked to this person. I haven't done anything. But this is the lower energy. Again, the lower character of, I don't feel that I'm good enough. I don't know. Like, I don't haven't taken the time to actually get to know you. So I don't see any of your fragmented parts. How you reacted to this person is pretty much saying that, where you might be saying, well, I see your fragmented parts. And now I don't know whether you're good enough for me. And that's what this person's big greatest fear, because they have fear of abandonment, because people that think that they're not good enough, they don't have enough, they don't know who they are. And that's what I was saying, but this person can still feel that spiritual connection, where they're like, they have deep feelings, where, maybe it can't change the world. It might sound like crazy, but what they realize is, wow, I really like have a lot of feeling for you. And though I'm scared, I'm not going to give into fear about this. See, the fear has nothing really to do with you. It has to do with them. And it's because, again, I'm not good enough. So if I'm not good enough, eventually you'll leave me when you see who I am. So again, if I can be really that intimate, if I can really be that trusting, you see. So it doesn't really have anything to do with, it doesn't have anything to do with um, you, but you'll be the trigger to it. And understand this person, what holds it together, then you say, is that there's a lot of like sexual energy, but it's not on a high enough level, because this person hasn't given the time, the energy, or anything to it, So, in order for it to be more than just like a hot fling, here for a good time, not a long time, and for this person not to be a karmic, they have to come in, they have to heal themselves, first of all. And they would actually have to come in and offer something. And they're like, you know, they this shows that they know that. Meaning they might not know that, oh, it's not on a high enough vibration. But what they're saying is, this person knows their worth. I can't come in and offer breadcrumb. They're not going to accept it from me. That's what this person knows. I have to do something. Their heart is opening and they're guiding them back to you. Now, that's why, like I said, because they are already thinking about it, they wouldn't have, if they're, the fact that they're even thinking about it and what they have to do. But before they come back, they have to do healing. That's the issue. They're trying to leave their comfort zone with this issue. So they're not 100% ready, but they're thinking about it. And, a lot of times what this person is realizing is that you both project your patterns onto each other, and it really makes it difficult to see what's real and what is fear-based thinking. So this person gets triggered by something you do, and you might not even have to do anything. You might just said, I would like it if you called me when you got home. It could be something as simple as that. And that person would say, you're telling me what to do. We see what we look for. And so that projection where you'd be like, I didn't say that, where that person just has been with people that like to control them because they don't give enough of themselves. So they're projecting. So they're like, is it real, or is this where it's like what is that it's a lot of fear-based thinking. But this person has that power to do it to you too. And really that's what karmic mates and soulmates do. That's the whole point, is to help us become aware of what needs to be healed. So what you see here is a person like that has a lot of feelings, but for you, but they have a lot of healing that needs to be done. But nevertheless, 1111 is those synchronicities that this person sees, that the divine has its hand in this connection. And you might be like, well, I don't feel like it's connecting me. And spirit says, well, you need to be doing your healing. So we haven't looked at, again, what the connection is with why you attracted this person yet, or what was the whole spiritual significance. But once you integrate the spiritual lesson, you change the dynamic of the connection. And if it's a real divine connection, the person already has unconditional love for you. They figure out like how, and that's through surrender. So, and the surrender only comes when this person heals themselves. And so, because again, you're just a connection of what this person needs to heal, because there's that detachment and separation. Like this person isn't strong within themselves. They feel controlled by people around them and they don't like it, and it's pushing them to grow. But if they didn't have a connection to you, they wouldn't want to grow. They actually say, oh, well, there's another option. And now you might say, well, I'm not an option. It's not that this person was even looking to have feelings for you. It's like, nevertheless, they have feelings for you. They're not in a good situation. What this says is they don't trust themselves. They might even be with a person that they don't even want to be with. It's just a weird karmic connection, or they're just by themselves. It doesn't even say, because they could be giving their power away to their parents, to their friends, to somebody that now they're pretty much controlling them. And that's because they didn't have a life. They didn't see another option. So I feel like, the people that we surround ourselves with are really important. So if this person doesn't have a good self-esteem and they've been giving too much of their power away, well, they were also probably brainwashed from those people, making them feel bad, making them feel obligated, making them say, oh, see, you're such a good person when you do all this. I mean, if that feels like love, if a person doesn't have a life, they overgave to those people, and now those people don't respect them or care about what their feelings are. So again, you come into this person's life, they weren't looking to have feelings. I feel like now they have feelings because they see that they have feelings, but they've been living so detached for so long, they didn't even know that they had feelings. Because, like I said, you see how like this connection has wakened like a lot up in the side of this person. Now it's like it's made them become aware of a lot of things where maybe they could have dealt with it for a while. But when we can actually see like another choice, and we're like, I have something else, it's making this person change. When I let myself go deeper into thought of you, I can feel my heart opening. Didn't I tell you this person shut their heart off a long time ago? It's like, but the connection does that, they don't have control over it. But they're living out of balance. And they know I cannot commit to you unless I'm going to offer you something, because you are not going to like accept me back into your life that way. And so everything is irritating this person. They've watched you change and grow so much, and they're trying to release attachments to identity so that they can change too. And so that's where they are now. Like I said, they're doing their inner child healing. So, they're stalking you, they're watching you, they're talking to people about you. It's their way of staying close. Their inner child was wounded when their parents couldn't respond to them in the way that they needed to. So a lot of times they reacted from that wound. And that's what I said, abandonment. It says it right here, abandonment. Same thing. It's like, so that's why this person shut their heart down. And it was just easier to live where they had their own little circle and they gave to, thinking that they were safe. But, when we, even to our closest friends, what'll happen is if you give so much, people are creatures of habit. So when you change, then it comes a little expected, like that, you're supposed to act a certain way, that codependency. When we feel fragmented, that's what happens. This person became codependent on their friends or relatives or whatever it is, and now they don't have ownership of their life and they're so bored. But it brings them back to, again, having to heal. They wouldn't volunteer to do this healing if it wasn't for the fact that you're like, you're not coming to me. You're not coming to me unless you have something to offer, unless you have something to give, unless you're going to treat me a certain way. Otherwise, adios, amigo. Peace out. I'm not going to deal with your breadcrumbs. I'm not going to deal with any of it. And so, like I said, so this person might have been hiding the fact that they were in a relationship, or said that they were getting out, or said, well, we're not really together. Well, that's not really a lie. They're really not. They're existing, but they don't have freedom of their life, and so they're still with that person even though they're not. Don't listen to other people, trust themselves. And this is this person's biggest challenge, that they need to, again, learn how to trust themselves. They have, again, not secure. So this would be very triggering. This would be very triggering because it's, again, well, if you really loved me, you would, a lot of times that's what we say. Or our inner child wound is like, well, you didn't give to me. So we're not going to get all caught up in what this person did, because we already see what they did. They're, as long as they're connected to someone else. And yeah, this person had a long road. They were not even understanding what they wanted. You were like a way that this person was able to escape through fantasy. Yes, there was always that passion, but they never elevated it to that unconditional love. And that's when you see a person every day and you get to see the fragment parts, and you're like, yeah, that's my friend. My friend's selfish. We all know that. We all know Tina. Yeah, when we go out for ice cream, she's right there in line. She never asked anyone, but she comes back with that big fucking ice cream cone herself and is sitting there licking it right in front of us. Didn't ask anybody, only cared about herself. We all know that person. We all know the selfish person. Those people that only care. That's like that. It's like this person used you as an escape. They weren't planning on having a love affair with you, because hey, I'm not comfortable here, but I can hide behind the illusion that my life is okay. And so where they were getting something out of it. It's not like they were saying, oh, well, I'm miserable all the time. People don't do something and they don't get anything in return. And if they're not getting anything in return, they're attached to an identity. They're attached to money. They're attached to something outside of them. So understand the connection of unconditional love will trump all of that. Because spirit says, that's of the physical world. That doesn't mean shit. Love is God. Love is the universe. It's the energy of the universe. You think that your dust buster or your couch or your TV is more than that? The universe says no. It's like when this person treated you like a conquest. Because so that's just how they were able to stay in that low vibe, whatever the fuck they're in, which is, or connected to parents or whatever, whoever they were hiding behind, because it's not specific here. Because the person was like existing, they weren't really in a relationship. And so they were able to make themselves feel good because, hey, I'm talking to a lot of different people, breadcrumbing a lot. I'm getting my ego fed. But really, if you get up close, you see that this person doesn't really have a life of their own, that other people are controlling them. The more that you look, the more you went down the rabbit hole. And that's because it's one lie. Because, if I can't let you come up close and I have other people puppeting me, well, everything's going to be a lie. It's like, so you're like, who are you? It's like, you don't know, because this person doesn't even know. They're whoever they want, whoever you want them to be for that moment. And so that's the thing. This person has feelings for you, and those feelings make them think. So Spirit says, I don't really care whether you're going to be with that person or not. How do you like those apples? All I care is that this person like looks and does the healing, because they've been living a life like this, and you don't get good results from that. You, because you stay in a place of not feeling deserving. I don't know whether I'm good enough. I don't think I'm good enough. So if you don't think that you're good enough, no one's going to think you're good enough. So this person then will overcompensate by giving and doing, and then they're abandoning themselves. And so they'll believe that they aren't loved, but they're the ones that are abandoning themselves. They're making that a self-fulfilling prophecy by giving their power away to people that don't really have this person's best interest at hand. However, they are coming back. You may be like, well, I don't want you now. Oh, fucking broken. And Spirit says, you know, if the person like comes back, you don't need to take them back, but you can be a friend. You can again handle it in a certain way. You'd be like, fuck that friendship. They treated me like a conquest. Well, this person isn't coming back the same way that they left. And you're right. And that doesn't mean that you have to roll out the red carpet. But if it's a twin flame connection where you're like, I really have feelings for this asshole, um, Spirit says, well, then you make that person work for it. It's like, because they have to open up their heart. Just because their heart is opening and guiding them back to you, that doesn't mean that shit stays open. It means, again, that you're the one that makes that so, and that's through giving. Let's see, let's prove it. You care so much about me. You're so sorry. You believe that we could have had it all, just like Bogey and McCall, it's it's like, this is what you believe. Prove it. Prove it. It's like, I'm not going to say a damn word, and I'm not going to make it easy for you either. And because I don't know how I feel. It's like, because that's the thing, you broke the intimacy, the trust in this relationship. And Spirit says, yeah, well, you were too trusting anyway. It's again, and why were you too trusting? Why were you? Spirit says, yeah, just because you were the nice one doesn't mean that you were not out of balance. If you were the victim to this person, Spirit saying. So let's look at the inner child wounds. Nurturance, card number 1. Card number 2, cleansing. Card number 3, frustration. Discipline, source. Wow, a lot of spirit cards. Innocence. We knew that. And let's see. And the last one is abuse. So we know that it could be psychological abuse, emotional abuse, physical abuse. The mind doesn't know the difference. It just knows abuse. And the thing is, it didn't have to be right with your parents. It could have been with a sibling. It could have been with a friend. It could have been, which is kind of like everybody, So just a karmic situation. So where you weren't like nurtured with it. And it might be, I just like, yeah, your sister, your brother's beating the hell out of you. Just get over it. If you don't stop crying, I'm going to give you both something to cry about. So, it was like learning not to really speak. And I only say it like that because the child self, whatever happened in our childhood is always going to be exasperated. Children are like old people. They're very sensitive. They're just very sensitive. And so the closer that they get to spirit, the more sensitive that they are. So I feel like you were someone that was sensitive. And I said, wow, I said, we see source here. And then we still are cleansing, which is, hey, you have the power to actually like heal. That you, again, like had healed yourself. And so it's not that you didn't go through the pain of that parent or that sibling making you feel like you weren't good enough or you weren't worthy or you weren't safe. Yeah, because really abuse plays out as our safety. The mind, like I said, just doesn't know the difference. So it robbed you of the innocence there, but you were still, your natural energy is like kind of like to be like very empathic and sensitive, to be like a lover, to be like, to be, I can feel what you need and I'm going to give to you, I'm going to make you feel better. That's your energy. But it was abused, and it was abused by someone close to you, where life was then frustrating for you. Now we stay in a place where it's frustrating. It means we're also confused. We don't feel safe within our own body. We don't feel safe within the environment. This is how we're being conditioned. It doesn't mean that it logically makes sense. What it means is that's just the way that you felt. But you were always able to, again, cleanse yourself, like, and that's heal yourself, because you have a close connection to source. But if you're so busy, like, cleansing yourself and healing yourself, what happens is we become very, like, worried kind of about our feelings and our emotions and our own sensitivity. And we're then not, we don't create ourselves because the environment just isn't right. So it's like, well, if I go to that class, I have to be there for like 4 hours, and, you know, they don't put the air conditioning on and the lady just doesn't shut the fuck up. It's like, so I can't, like, it takes discipline to be consistent, to to have our own unique unfoldment process. Most of the time, if we had if we've had abuse, any type of abuse, we're not our abuse. But if the abuse was bad enough, we kind of hold on to it. And we don't mean to hold on to it. It's a survival mechanism. It's like how the mind looks for, what it doesn't want to experience, almost as a way to protect. Where if you grew up in survival mode, you're then continuously focused on those things instead of being disciplined and grounded in becoming yourself and creating a whole new way, because we're not our pain. So you might have healed it on one level, like the mind, where you're like, yes, I understand, but spirit says, yeah, but you had to ground the spiritual experience, and that comes from nurturing yourself. You have to reparent yourself. The abuse did happen, and so your mind is never going to stop looking for those things until you integrate and really transmute that negative energy. Otherwise, the karmic theme continues to play out, just with different people. Same experience, different people, which is what makes you perceive the perception of whatever is happening, which it could be like, I don't have enough, or I'm not good enough, or I can't have, or my emotional needs are never taken care of. Whatever the emotional theme is that continues to play out. Which here, this person abandoned you because they're abandoning themselves. They emotionally couldn't give to you because they couldn't give to themselves. And so really, it's like what should be in that place is really what spirit says, because you have only so much time, energy, focus, and money. And those are your tools. You're the magician. That's the magician tarot card. You have everything that you need. But if you're not utilizing those skills the best way, you cannot make a way where there is no way just for you. You can't put your energy into channeling what you want to become. Now, understand, you're supposed to be doing that, because whether this person comes back and you want to be with this person, you would still need to hold to that energy, because this person doesn't know how to treat you. They're learning how to treat themselves. So you again would still have to hold to a standard. Spirit says, and guess what? You still need to do it if you don't want to be with this person because you weren't doing it right. Otherwise, you're going to attract a person that does and treats you the same. You might say, well, I'm not going to keep them in my life. But Spirit says, until you learn, you're not, you're either overcompensate or undercompensate. It's a second chakra imbalance. So we can go with the flow of whatever the situation is when we're fully strong within ourselves, is what Spirit's saying. It's like not through trying to strategize. That's what this person does. And they don't get good results. We have to listen to our intuition and be strong within ourselves. And that happens through creating ourselves. And Spirit says again, the path, your path, you may say, I'm not on the right path. And really, Spirit says it's about you creating your own way. The path unfolds while you're on it. So you can't say, well, I need the path and I need the roadmap. You need to give me the roadmap of where I'm going to stop along the way, who I'm going to meet, where are the opportunities, because I need to pay my bills and I need to figure out how I'm going to eat. So I need to know, and Spirit says it doesn't work like that. It's a faith walk. It's like, and so that you really have to be strong within yourself so you can go with the flow, because you can't control the environment. And you still have to get along with people, that second chakra. So again, Spirit's saying you make your own way by becoming yourself, because you're not all of a sudden going to quit your job tomorrow. So we might have to rearrange our life. We say, oh, once a month I go here, or every other week we meet here. It's a grounding issue. If you were giving to somebody that couldn't give to you and was staying in fantasy world and was living like that, Spirit saying they were really nothing when you go and look at it. It's like what they offered was literally nothing, because they're not even who they presented themselves to be. Where this is saying, the Spirit says this was more about you learning to love yourself. It's like if you were abused, then you didn't know your value. Now you might say, I know my value, and Spirit says you might have grown up in an environment that tried to make you perceive you didn't know your value, or dated someone along the way that made you feel like you don't, because they gaslit. And then you walked from that level by accepting less without realizing it. When if you were like, again, creating your own way out of nothing, don't you think that Spirit would bring you people that would emotionally fulfill you, and other people that were going to teach you and grow you and help heal you, and situations that would do that? Spirit says, I would do that. You don't need anyone outside of you. You need to, again, do that. It's like, because it was like trying to put a square peg in a circle hole. It's like that it's never going to happen. And Spirit says, and now take time to connect with yourself. And that maybe you don't have a very strong connection to your higher self when it comes to your love life. Again, or because, hey, I've never seen it. So I, again, have a bad way of, jumping to conclusions or seeing what I look for. And that's why Spirit says the more that you have a love affair with yourself, then you're not paying attention to what this person's doing, because emotionally you're being taken care of. If this is how you demand your energy without saying, hey, I'm going to demand my energy. We don't say that. It's that you just notice it through the action. I mean, you're not all that to me because you didn't earn it. It's like, I don't know who you are. It's like, I don't know, like that, because you don't let me in. And because of that, but this shows why this person didn't let you in. Like, and we leave off with one more that Spirit says, now it's all about listening to the whispers of your own soul. Just always align your actions with your values. And then when you do that, it doesn't mean that you're not going to still attract flies, because those flies will go to anybody, but the difference is you can see that that's all that they are, is a fly. And you'll notice if this person comes back, how they are. You're holding yourself to a standard, and Spirit says you need to do that because this way you'll get what you want, whether it's this person or not. Really, Spirit says you have free will to choose, and they're coming back. So it's not like they're not, but it wouldn't be the easiest relationship. And Spirit says, and it's all about the calm, you being in the calm, which is breathe, live, and grow the light within you. That's what Spirit's saying. The more that you become yourself and fulfill yourself, the more that you're demanding how to be treated, how you also are able to be sustain yourself, that no matter what happens in life, that you feel like the support and the love, which a lot of times when we go through abuse, we don't have that support. So Spirit's saying that focus on the present moment. Only in the now do you get divine guidance through gut, intuition, inner knowing. Also know there's always a call to action right after it. That's how you know it's not mind chatter. It's the call to action gives distinct, I know what I'm going to do. It's again, so and that can only happen to when you're in the calm. And that means you have to train your nervous system, especially if you're emotional and you've been emotional, where you're like, you can't help it. The Spirit says you do things like breath work, you do things like yoga, do things like weight training. It's all about getting back to the breath. Because understand, this person, no one has power over you. They can only trigger your emotions. They can only do that, but you're in charge of how you want to react. And it's hard because, like I said, how we started this conversation is people like to get underneath your skin, and that you're not dealing with people that are all on your same vibration. And that doesn't mean you have to get rid of all of them either. You just need to know where to place them in your life. And Spirit says, cast off all doubts and fear dissipates and find your peace in your own being, Spirit says. This is about you getting strong within yourself. And maybe Spirit says, well, I see you very strong within yourself, but I want to see how strong you're going to be when you're in a relationship. And what I want you to be is, again, very disciplined with yourself now. And so that you hold to a standard that just commands how you want to be treated. People will know this is how this person wants to be treated. It's like we try to tell people how we want to be treated, and we can tell them, but if a person has already gotten comfortable treating you a certain way, it's going to be a lot harder than if you just acted a certain way to begin with when they first met you, is all. That's why, again, in separation, when this person comes back, they don't have the same energy. And if you're not in the same energy, well, this connection could actually work, but it would take a lot of forgiveness on your part. I'm going to leave that there. You let me know how you resonated with this one. Thank you for joining me. Give the video a like. Again, if you're interested in crystal bracelets, check out Otter Spirit link in the description box. You get to mix and match your own. And for $7.99 a month, you get my inner child healing, shadow healing, reparenting, all the healing modalities to help you heal the effects of trauma in my group shadow healing coaching program. Really important, because who the hell wants to do all that? No one wants to do that. We want to do it if it's fun. That's we know that we've already lived trauma, so we don't want to live trauma again in doing the healing work. We want to, do it kind of in a fun, supportive atmosphere. And also check out my books. I have my Christian Metaphysical Healing workbook, as well as my Shadow Healing book. That comes with 68 cards in the deck, which I open up every single reading with. My Shadow Healing coaching, again, is done with these cards. And you can see that the words on them are not tarot, obviously, but I love to layer the cards. And my Healing the Effects of Trauma book, all will be linked in the box below. Thank you again for joining me. I love you guys. And until next time, you know what to do. Be true to you. Remember, again, you teach people the way you want to be treated by how you're treating yourself. All right, let me see. If you don't face it, you can't address it. Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you, Joy. Bye bye, guys. I'll talk to you soon.